guys, welcome to the Jenny Show. This is Jenny, and today we're gonna do the Finn Balor face paint. Now I'm also gonna do a beauty version of this look in a future video, but if you'd like to see that, a wearable beauty version, then please like this video and leave me a comment. If you don't, then I won't do it. Okay, now let's get started. Now you're going to need for this look some black body paint, some red body paint. You're also going to need some pink. Okay, let's see if we can get that there. And you're also going to need some white body paint. There are also some colors that we're going to blend with actual shadows. So when we get to that, we'll get to it. So the very first part that I like to start with is the chest area. There's a lot going on there. For the purposes of this look and for the purposes of what he uses the look for, which is wrestling, I noticed that they try to minimize the time that he is actually undergoing the paint process. So there are details in this look, but not a lot. A sort of triangle for the mouth. So what we're going to do before we start using that white is get some black and outline that area. Now you want to start by drawing teardrop shaped teeth going all around and missing the center there so that you can add the tongue. Don't worry about how messy it looks because you'll fix it later. Now you're adding your tongue. Start at the base of your neck where the Adam's apple is for some men, but just the lower neck for women. And it's almost an S shape with the tongue in red face paint. Then we're going to shade in with some pinks and whites later on. Make sure you take that tongue down all the way to the tip of the triangle. Now we are going over the outlines of each tooth with black body paint. This makes it a lot easier to color around it in black. So you outline the tooth first and then you color all around in black. Now that we have our chest piece all colored in, this is the part where you can add little details. Now I left this back part here without any teeth because he normally has some different shading here near his sort of upper shoulder muscles, okay? But the teeth themselves, we use a very sort of teardrop shape. This is the part where you can make them pointier. And I did a sort of basic shape in the very beginning, but now you can go in with more white face paint and make them the shape that you really want them. So you can take a fine tip brush. Now we can go back with some fixes. If you want to make the teeth pointier, you can add more white body paint to the top. Okay, you want to change the shape, you can do that now. And we are going to start shading that tongue with some pinks and some whites. Make a blend and feather out. That's the best way to do it. I like to use a picture of a cow's tongue and sort of use that and then blend with my fingers any paint that looks very splotchy. This is a very slow process, but it works. Use some white for any highlights as well as any spit that you might want to draw on there. Typically when you're using body paint, the more water you use, the lighter the paint's going to be. The less water, the thicker it is. So that should give you a sort of idea on how you want to use your paint to draw certain areas. Now we want to color in the face paint. You want to cover your forehead as well as a strip down your nose, and your upper eyes and lower eyes look like a raccoon. Don't worry about making this perfect because we will go back in later on to make this a lot darker. Now we're taking red, filling in the sides of the nose, under that raccoon shape, and up onto your temples. This should extend up, and again, don't worry about making it perfect because we will go in. You just want this basic shape down. At this point, you want to add in those top teeth. The same method applies here. We're going to do the teardrop shape, just upside down. And the front teeth are going to be the longest. So we're going to have 2 teeth there extending down to your chin. And then they're going to get gradually smaller as you go around the side of your face there. It should look like this. Now you want to give him some gums with some red face paint extending down just a little bit. And now we're using the same outline method. Outline each tooth in black and then fill in that area beside it in black. Now this area you can get creative. This is where he has some veining that sometimes looks like thunder, sometimes looks like veining. So I went ahead and did some veining. It's kind of like tree branching. So you can do that in red face paint. Do whatever design you'd like. It's very random. Now that my teeth and areas in black are dried, I want to go in and outline the top of those teeth in black. My red veining should now be dry, so I'm using pink body paint to go over it in a sort of pink highlight. Using a dark brown eyeshadow, I want to shade the bottoms of the teeth. Okay, and this is where you can get creative in terms of shading. Use the rules for shading. I shall do a video on that soon, but you want to shade anywhere where a shadow would fall. And this is just to make it a little bit more realistic and not as flat. Now that our face is dry, I want to go in with more red and make it a little bit more chaotic, more blended. So I want to extend that top up just a little bit. And also I want to do some veining on that top shoulder part there. A lot of the times he has veining or just paint coming off, so we want to make this as unperfect as possible. And this is the part of the video where I show you the finished product. So in terms of all the areas where you saw there was missing paint, I just went ahead and gave it a little bit more black. I blended in. If you can see, the camera kind of cut off the bottom portion, but I'll show you here. I did put in some really dark brown eyeshadow, okay, to shade parts of the teeth, to make it look a little bit more realistic. And then of course the tongue, it looked a little crazy while we were painting it. When you start blending in with your finger, it gives it a more realistic look. and you add a little bit of white in places where you want to highlight and give a little spit action, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I mean, that is the complete look. If you have any other questions on this look, leave it down below and I'll let you know. The bottom portion here sometimes has black and other different designs, but of course, since I am a lady, I am not going to expose my boobies to those, but you can get the idea of the kind of veining that we're going for here on each side, and then you highlight with some pink. So that's it. If you guys want any more looks, any suggestions for looks that you want to see, leave it down in the comment section. And of course, like always, subscribe. I had a lot of fun doing this look. Finn Balor is one of my favorite guys right now, and I believe he's gonna go very far. So that's the inspiration for the look. I hope you liked it, and I don't think I did too bad. Let's just zoom in a few areas. Stay ultimate.